2, 2, 1, and we're live! Hello all, and welcome back to the Invictus stream. My name, as always, is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with my very good friend Matt. Wave, Matt. There he is.
Hello.
Mr. Andy Hayes.
Howdy.
Mr. Axon Ryder.
Hello.
Mr. Justin Thomas James.
Hey there.
And we are here on International Tabletop Day to bring you Belly of the Beast! Woo! That's right, Belly of the Beast is a current Kickstarter RPG that is, I think now it's, what's the countdown on it? We're looking at 7 days to go, a game that is by Sigilstone Publishing, a game where you play inside the tummy of a giant world-eating beast. And we are going to trudge through the sinew and the bile and the guts with our trusty GM, Mr. Matt McHale from 7LandHand, to try to see if we can't survive, I guess. I don't really know. What's the goal in living in a beast? I guess just to live day to day. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, it's well, probably hand to mouth is probably the almost apt way to describe it.
That's hand to mouth, yeah, or ass to mouth, depending on where you're going from. That's right. This is probably going to be an 18+ show, by the way.
Start and destination, yeah.
That's how I'm going to call it. I know they have within the system, and I got to say, the guy who's done the work, Ben Dutter, this is a really cool system, and it was something that caught the attention of myself and the guy and Matt at 7LandHand. And we decided to team up and do a little game and see, and see a little bit about what this game offered. And I know Ben has been working with Matt tirelessly together, the two of them, kind of crafting a really great visualization of what we're going to be doing. So thank you, Matt, first off, for running this game. It is always tough.
You are very welcome.
Oh. It's always tough to find the time, especially when we're on literally basically the other sides of the world. It is 9 p.m. where we are here, and these guys are up at 9 a.m., which is why only 3 of us are drinking beer. Which 3? You'll have to find out. So yeah, like I said, this is International Tabletop Day. This is Belly of the Beast.
You're in my house.
Whoa!
Hello, yeah, child. I should give you a warning, Harlan, that I've got my kids with me. They'll probably be running around, but you know there are plenty of things over them to keep them occupied. But they may pop in and say hello.
Is there a way that we can incorporate their voices into the story somehow? Like, you know, there's little bats flying above our heads.
I'm thinking the echoes like Mad Max, the echoes of the children in my past are coming back to haunt me. And that's how I'm going to.
So,
or every time a kid pops up,
so
I'll
if
just
you hear any scream.
Get a shrink.
Fair enough. So yeah, this is again a game that's currently on Kickstarter. The link is in the description. If this is something that you guys think you would like, or this is something that you're kind of leaning towards doing, go ahead and check it out. Ben is a really nice guy. He's been helping us again with all of the questions we have and all the various kind of some of the supplements, such as these nice, pretty little overlays that we got to use. He helped us out with those and things of that nature. So if it's something that you like, go and check it out and back it, because it's always great, and we love supporting stuff like that. I mean, that's what it's about, guys. That's what International Tabletop Day is about: bringing the community together. Australia and Canada, different worlds. See, I get to
That's
give myself.
No, I agree with you.
And that's what it's about, that unity. So yeah, this is of course an 18+ show, like all of the Invictus shows. I'm going to try to tone it down in case a kid runs by, but as always, the masturbating lesbians in the background are going to pose a bit of it. So if you are sensitive to this type of thing, make sure you take a step out of the room for the next however many hours we're doing this. If you are part of...
That's why I'm wearing the cans.
I was going to say, yeah, just in case. If you are part of Facebook, go ahead and join the Facebook group Invictus Stream, as well as go and check out what the 7LandHand guys are doing. I know they have a Facebook page. You can go ahead and like that. They do a podcast, I think it's bi-weekly. Isn't that right, Matt?
Yep, that's right.
So there you go. So go check them out.
Fortnightly, and we have 2 shows. Yeah.
2 shows? What are the 2 shows?
Yeah. the main one we do is the board game review.
And the second one is? I'm going to just say the second one must be the podcast because the board game reviews would make sense. Or are they both the podcast? I've listened to them a bit. We've done an intro for them, but it's also very long and quality stuff. Not that that's a bad thing. I just don't. Well, look he's back. There's two of you.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. You said there's 2 shows is what we got. The first one is the board game review.
Yeah, and that's the main one we do, where we carry on reviewing board games that come out. Good Games itself is now publishing games, so we're reviewing those, which is very exciting for us. The second show we do is 7LandHand Extra, which is our Magic the Gathering content. It's interviews with board game designers. Like Ben, we're having him on in the not-too-distant future. We've spoken to the likes of Jay Little, Bruno Cathala, board game designers, and Harlan, I believe you've agreed to an interview at some stage.
Well, I don't know. We might have to put something together. But yes, that is the 7LandHand content. The guys that they're putting out is quality work. It is always really cool. So go ahead and check them out. If you're a member of Invictus, go check them out. If you're a member of 7LandHand, come check us out because it's all about unity. I need to remind these guys too. It's 9 for us, so this is going to be that type of show for us. These guys, and I want everyone to be aware that it's 9 a.m. So the morning show you saw us do, remember our level, and that's where we're at right now. It's a very weird mix. Next time I want to do one with the inverse, where we're playing at 9 in the morning and you guys are playing at 9 in the night, just to see the kind of wild antics that you're up to. So it is. If you're on Facebook,
that sounds good.
If you are on YouTube, which I don't know how you're on YouTube, but go ahead and subscribe to our videos as well as 7LandHand. They also have a RPG subset within YouTube. I know you guys did a couple Wrath of the Gods games. I think 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's right.
you have a few other odds and sods on there. So go ahead and check them out. And Twitter, again, Twitter for both of those, us and them. I mean, you get the idea. Just follow us and like us and love us forever. Okay. So that's
you'll find links all over the place that take you back and forth.
They're everywhere. There's one right here. Click it right here. Look, I'll add it later probably, or maybe right now. Just click the video and it will make it full screen. So yeah, Belly of the Beast. What is it really about? I mean, we're gonna find out. Half the fun is kind of watching us stumble our way through it. Probably, I don't know. The rough overview is that you play a character in the belly of this beast. You run off instincts, where you can choose 2 of either curiosity, fear, greed, loyalty, and violence, and you essentially try to utilize those more than the other things that you have, because that's the kind of person you are. It's a very different game, and I think that's what appealed to me about it as well as Matt. And obviously, when it comes to role-playing, there's such a vast array of games to play that we're always looking for something a little different. In fact, that's how we found Numenera and all the Monty Cook stuff, looking for something a little different. So that's enough of my bullshit spiel. Matt, why don't I throw it to you if you want to give us a little summary of the game, and then what we can do is go through the 4 of us. We can tell you a little bit about us, and then we can jump right into the actual balls deep of the storyline. What do you say, Matt?
That sounds good, Harlan. So, a little bit of an overview of the backstory of the game. So, hundreds of years ago, a giant rock fell from the sky, landed on the planet, and a great meteorite. Nothing too vicious about that, unless, of course, you've been watching the alien stuff from the Invictus stream.
Anything that falls to Earth is always bad news.
That's right. Eventually, something hatched from that, and it was a worm of some description, a beast that has then gone consuming everything it can get its mouth around, literally, which sounds really, really gross, but consuming vast tracts of land, lots and lots of buildings, whole civilizations are just being consumed and taken into the belly of this beast, which is where the name of the game comes from. And funnily enough, people have managed to survive and are carving out an existence, scavenging through the supplies and all that sort of thing. And I'm sorry if you can hear that. I'm really sorry. Yeah, but all right. So what's happening is people are carving out an existence as best they can, surviving day to day. It's very much an apocalypse sort of scenario, and just looks like that's a great picture. That's a great picture there. It's one of my favorites actually because it shows the crushed up construction, masonry work, the debris, everything that's just been swallowed and mushed together. At the head, things are very chaotic where everything's being taken into the mouth of the beast. But as you work your way down through the stomach, things are getting crushed up, pushed together. Eventually, it ends up in this whole mash of mismatched civilizations, and there's a lot of things hidden, things that were stored away that are now coming to light, being found by the players who are scavenging and salvaging their way through the Evergut. Yeah, so that's a bit of the backstory. Now, approximately, there's been a regression because, as you can imagine, a lot of technology might get lost, a lot of equipment buried under all this rubble, debris. So there's been a bit of a slide back to a Bronze era, where it was at roughly a Renaissance sort of age, and as a result of this, everything's falling apart, but being held together by humanity's will to survive and will to live. They're your instincts are what guide you in the living in the Evergut. All right, so how's that for the backstory?
That's
Bit of
pretty
how
good
to play.
to me. Yeah, it gives like a good kind of feel. You know, you can feel yourself inside of that beast, that wet and moist. You know what it reminds me of when I was looking at it? The scene from Alien, when they're on that planet and they get into the ship and the walls are almost wet, and then, you know, later on in the movie the walls are moving and you realize it was all the... Oh, spoilers, guys, for anyone who hasn't seen fucking Aliens. It's the scene where the movie is...
Damn,
that's what it reminds me of, that kind of like visceral, you know, almost Geiger-esque type horror is what I think appealed to me about Belly of the Beast. Right, guys?
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, how do you go about creating a character? Each of the players are acting on instincts, and there are 5 primary instincts that you might succumb to: curiosity, fear, greed, loyalty, and violence. Now, this game rewards you for acting as such. It doesn't necessarily penalize you, but there are always consequences if, when you're attempting to do something, you fail. So it can be quite harsh in that respect. You might have noticed that there are no hit points, but you actually have a series of injuries that you can take, much in the same way as the Apocalypse series. So you only have you can hear the wails and cries of the tortured people living down here, the denizens.
It's like I'm really there.
That's like
I've gone for authenticity. So you can act as to your instincts. So if you're a fearful person, curious, you're looking for danger in every nook and cranny, you can also get bonuses because you're acting in with that instinct for hiding and fleeing things that make you fearful. So, speaking of which, all right. So the system is unique in that the DM doesn't actually have to make any rolls, and I'm in danger of being swallowed up by beasts here.
Yes.
And
you're under attack. You're
you don't have
surrounded,
to
Matt.
make rolled.
If that's the
I
horror
am,
that we need
as
to
the
deal with
DM.
in the Belly of the Beast, I think we're going to be okay. Oh no! Too many small children trying to hug me!
Actually, to be honest, that
children
does
are
sound
born,
kind of
I assure you.
Too many, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Tiny little hands and all where they would go.
Alright. So, the dice system is quite unique in that the DM doesn't actually roll any dice. So, in terms of getting things done, the players, that responsibility is all on the players. And you're able to
start with a base dice, which is everyone's a chance of completing a task. Next, you can add to that is your instinct dice, which is a unique pool that you can add to at any stage you want to make a roll, and you can spend up to 5. Now, these dice, you are a replenishing pool, which I think is similar to in the cipher system, where you get, is it the advantage dice, where you can, for acting according to your character, you get rewarded. Is that right?
Yeah.
I've not played cipher, but I assumed that that's what it was.
I think that
something
is
similar to that.
That's how we use it. I don't know if that's 100% accurate in the way they wrote it, but I think that's how we use it.
Yeah. So it's a replenishing pool that every time you enter a scene, you spend as much as you have in your pool if you want to. You don't have to. You can roll it over. And then what you have to do is you will earn more during that scene, but you don't get access to the dice that you've earned until afterwards.
Right.
Into the next scene. So it stops you from power playing, I guess, earning lots of instinct dice, using them all up during the scene, then getting more, and then using those. It saves from scene to scene, so you get the advantages in the next time you need to make some sort of an encounter.
So basically, during
the other thing.
Oh, sorry, Matt, but during a scene, that means we're going to be keeping track of our ID that we are doing, of those instincts during that scene, but then we get to use them during the next scene.
Spot on.
Perfect, okay. Just want to be clear.
So, which is why you get to start off with 10, a pool of 10 at the beginning of the game. So that reflects where you've come from, your history, your backstory, that you've come with, you're already acting on your instinct up to this point in time, so you don't start with nothing. You get some incentive to keep earning more, use it up in the first scene you come up, and then you accumulate more during that scene, and then ready for the next one. So yeah, I think that's different. That's something I've not played for in other RPGs. I mean, my history comes from D&D, which is very different to that. And the other type of dice you can get is the advantage dice. And advantage dice come from the things that you have: equipment, armor, situational stuff. Let's say you're in behind cover, then if you're behind a big rock, the rock will give you an advantage to hide from an opponent. If you've got a great big sword, then that will give you an advantage dice. If you're using a shield, that will, in conjunction with armor, you'll get the advantage dice from the shield and the armor pool, which is what you're trying to build when you're attempting something.
Can you fix him again?
All right.
Okay.
So how are we going so far? That sound okay?
It sounds
I
good.
think that makes sense to me.
One question about the equipment, though. If your character's wearing nothing, like if you're thinking like more of a bare bones sort of stealthy character, is that going to give you advantages to stuff like sneaking and dexterity stuff, like it would in D&D?
That's a good question. I can imagine that it would. It would be the way you're attempting to use your stealth. So if you're moving through an area that's maybe it's very confined. If you're moving through a very close quarters area and you're not wearing very much, then you'll have an easier time than if you're trying to do that same thing with a full set of armor.
Right. Yeah.
So I guess you would get advantage in that situation, whereas you would definitely not get advantage if you're wearing the armor and trying to crawl through the same space. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Cool.
And that's about it. So it's very simple. You're out to complete tasks. Each task has a difficulty rating. You roll your pool to try and succeed against that rating. Now, one of the other things is that you already know what you need to roll to hit, and that's based on your skills. So if you're using a skill such as you're using your might, so you're taking a swing at an opponent, and you would use your might because that's the most applicable.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you've decided that that might is your most important skill, it's your brilliant skill, you succeed on a roll of 3 to 6, 3 or more. So it's a d6 system. If, let's say, you're trying to do the same thing, but you're really not a swordsman, you're terrible at it, you have the rotten skill set, you succeed on a 6. So there are variants. There's brilliant, capable, acceptable, and rotten, and they all grade up. Starting 3, brilliant is the best. That's your best chance of succeeding, which is just slightly better than 50-50. Then capable is 50-50. Acceptable is like 33, and then success on a run score is you need a 6, otherwise you fail. And unlike many other games, if you are trying to complete a task and you fail, there can be consequences. They're not necessarily dire consequences, but they may suit the situation at hand. The example
with
being,
Matt being the
if you're
GM,
attempting to
I
climb,
think he might be making them dire issues, like falling and landing on with a knife through my stomach and immediately ending the game.
that's it.
I heard that you are a very tough,
That could happen.
and very bitter GM. So we have to make sure that we're
Bitter.
very complimentary to the beautiful
Yes.
Matt McHale.
If
Yeah,
he offers you
whereas
any
everyone
options
else
to
knows
upgrade
me.
your equipment, don't believe him.
Someone that's
Yeah.
burned before. Well, I think
It's
that
a
gives
lie.
us a really good overview of kind of
That
what
might be
the
true.
game is. Do we want to jump into characters and kind of see
Yeah.
who we're all going to be playing?
I'm going to mute my microphone, and I'm going to give you a chance to tell everybody about your characters.
Perfect.
Go for it.
Let's start off. Justin, why don't you lead us out? Then Axton, then I'll go, and Andy, why don't you finish it off? So, Justin, tell us who you are playing.
Sure. Okay. My name is Leviticus, and I do not know much about myself because my memory is a blur. I was lost in the vast underbelly of this giant creature, and I came to when someone saved my life. A man named Solus, who's been my traveling companion for a long time now. He saved my life, and to that I am indebted. I do not remember what I was doing before the accident or whatever happened to me, but I am still very grateful to be alive because it is better than nothingness. So I owe my life to Solus, who is going to be played by Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I follow him through the pits and the I guess belly of the beast.
That's the title of the game. Axton, why don't you tell us a little bit about your character?
Right, my name is Jupiter. I grew up in a small settlement in the middle of a forest. I learned a lot about setting traps and archery from my father, as I had to hunt and forage for food as I was growing up. I'm very curious, and I love to learn about the world around me. And I left my village to pursue learning about the world, and wound up working with Solus and the others as a scavenger. I am very curious, but at the same time I'm quite loyal. And I do like tinkering with things, so I'm an engineer.
Perfect. So if we need someone to, hey, can you fix this? I broke it. I used it too many times.
That's a breast pump.
I know. Is that not what I used it for? That's not what I used it for. Perfect. Okay. Well,
Don't
my
lie,
name,
baby, I swear.
my name is Solus. My wife and daughter were taken by reavers. I found my wife beaten and left for dead. My baby girl roasted on a spit. I buried my wife that day. And then I dug her back up and cremated her. I promised and vowed that I would take her ashes to the mouth of this giant beast. And for years I've traveled alone towards the head until I came across Leviticus, saved his life. And now together we're earning enough money by scavenging to continue my quest headward to spread the ashes of my wife. I have nothing left back there. I only wish to make peace with this world. And Andy, why don't you tell us a little bit about your character?
Yes.
I just want to cry.
Okay, so guys, it's a great finish. My character is Basil. So when asked what is best in life, Basil's answer is material possessions. He is both curious and greedy. He probably sees himself as a little bit more of an Indiana Jones. He likes to explore and find all the best stuff, but then ultimately he wants to take it. Doesn't necessarily matter if it's already in the possession of somebody else. He's all about treasure, about gold. He just wants to find the good stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much Basil. He's just after one thing, really.
Like the real Faulty. Just after the...
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Faulty! Oh! Perfect. Well, that sounds like a pretty diverse group. I'm excited to see what we got. Matt, we are ready when you are. If you want to take us on this whirlwind adventure.
I am ready, and as I hope you all are. So as part of a caravan scavenging team, your role and responsibility is to move things between the various settlements. Now, you'd be surprised that living in the belly of a beast, you wouldn't think there are a lot of settlements, but there are in fact lots of little fringe settlements. There are some bigger ones, and you're heading to one of those larger ones called Neux. And it's a stronghold that's friendly to your company. As scavengers, you generally form associations with larger groups, strength in numbers, that sort of thing. And the company you find yourselves in is the 7 Invictus hands.
7.
Okay, and there were more of you at one stage. However, it's a very dangerous existence living in the Evergut. And you find your way moving with your biggest possession you have is your cart, which is drawn by a team of hogs.
Cool.
Okay, go do that. You have there are no horses here. For some reason, horses, cattle, they don't thrive. But hogs, for some reason, thrive in this place. So you've got a cart that's drawn by a team of 4 hogs, and you're making your way to Neux with a load of water. Now, we're talking, Harlan, before about currency, about money.
Mm-hmm.
The main currency is resources to survive in this place. And in certain places throughout the Evergut, water is completely unavailable. It's not an option. It's either fetid and disgusting and toxic, or it just completely absent. However, as you move closer towards the head, parts of the Evergut have their own ecosystems. It's possible to have clouds forming just because of condensation, and then that falling as actual pure rain, and that's gathered and collected. And for people further down the stomach, for you to trade that water, one of the most valuable resources, for things that are other found amongst the ruins of the stomach. So that's what you're carting. You're carting several barrels of the purest, well, what passes for the purest water that's available in that part of the Evergut. And Neux is a regular trading partner. Now, you're not just traders. You embark on scavengings of your own, just using the settlements as a center of operations. But on this particular purpose, it's a trading mission. You've got Nillox, Nillox.
Got it.
So if you take your water to Nillox, you can then trade it for what they've found. And the message that got back to you is they've found a haul of jars that have unopened. They were wax sealed, they are good quality, they're intact. What's in them could be things like stores of grain. It could be it could be who knows what else. They've been unopened for all this time. They've come from one of the older civilizations, and someone's uncovered them, and they want to trade them on. So the way they have to do that is, obviously, you've got the water, which is very valuable. So you've worked out a trade with them, and so that's your purpose for going to Neux. All right, to trade this water, to get this load to take back to other places, to then on-sell for the things that you need.
Great.
So that's what you're all about.
So we are in the middle of a journey right now. We're like mid-trip right now. Where are we on the journey?
Yeah, you're towards the end of it. You're heading in towards Neux. You can see the stronghold as you are traveling along the caravan route. And these caravan routes, not very wide. They're one way, and they head around the outside of the lining of the stomach. They're actually carved into the side, so you've got wood highway, if you like, suspended by rope that is treated, and cable that is treated with the not hog lining, but the beast fat, which has proved to enhance and lengthen the life of such materials. Everything out here doesn't spend long before it starts to rot and deteriorate. That includes metal, rope, masonry. Everything just seems to fall apart eventually it all will. However, the beast's fat is impervious to this, and so everything's sort of lined. It makes everything slick and glisten. But it's quite an engineering feat, and Axton, you would appreciate this, because being an engineer, you would notice the hard work and the materials required to construct a highway along the edge of the stomach. And it's flexible material. So as the beast, at the moment we're in an age of dormancy, so there hasn't been a lot of activity, so it's all fairly quiet. But there are periods when the beast awakens that cause tremors and things to shift. So by creating the highway out of such materials, it's flexible enough that it sort of moves and can compensate. So it's treacherous, but it could be far, far worse. Traveling along the base of the stomach.
So, sorry to interrupt. So as we approach the bridge, I think it would be in character. Leviticus says, "Stop, stop." And he hops off of the caravan and walks up to the bridge and begins looking at it and says, "Jupiter, maybe have a look at this. We should be very careful coming into town." Fear is one of my instincts, by the way. So.
My curiosity, I'll jump off and just assess the bridge. I agree, Leviticus. Should check.
This for you is a short task because of your engineering background. You do know of this structure. You've been traveling this sort of this path for many pharaohs, and for pharaoh, if you don't know what that is a hog pregnancy. That's the measure of time. Here in the Evergut, because there's no daylight, that you can't see, there's no sun, you don't have a transition of time. So every time you have a pharaoh, you can estimate that's around about 120 days.
So is that a metric pig or an imperial pig?
You said you've been doing metric. Come on, we are.
Right.
Yeah.
How
you
well do we trust and know the stronghold, and how much do we trust and know Neux? Just out of curiosity, do we? I imagine that water, the pure water, is a valuable resource, and I'm expecting having my wife killed by reavers. I'm very cautious and fearful of it being taken from us. Well, as these guys are hopping off, I'm kind of looking around, and I'm curious about the stronghold and what kind of danger it may pose, if any.
Yeah. What you can now, this will be a short task. So you're using your awareness, basically. So your awareness ability, if you start with 1 base dice, and whatever ability you have in your awareness, Harlan. So what did you choose? Did you choose brilliant? Did you choose capable for your awareness?
So for my awareness, it's capable, but under my instincts for fear, I do have the spend one ID to identify every potential danger in a scene. And I don't want to. I want them to check for the bridge too. I just wanted to mention that because then we could do both maybe at the same time or something.
Yeah. Yep. So we understand this is happening consecutively, so sequentially. So you're both doing it at the same time. All right. So Harlan, while you're looking at the stronghold, and Axton, you're investigating the bridge. The pair of you, using your awareness, using your instinct, you have the opportunity to spend as much instinct as you want to make the roll. I've set the task difficulty, so all you need to do is roll your base dice. Roll any instinct dice you want to roll, and then if you have any advantage, then you can add that. So what are you looking at? Harlan, looking at the stronghold, how many instinct dice would you look to spend, do you think?
So it's one for basic, right? I think I'm going to spend 2 instinct dice. I don't know the difficulty, right?
Yep. No, you don't.
Okay. So yeah, I'll spend 2 because. Why the hell not? And yeah, so that's a total of 3 then. If I have 1 for the base and 2 for rolling.
Yep.
And I have it
3D6.
capable. So 3d6. All right, let's do that. And we got 6 for 2.
6 for 2. So the capable rating is a 3+. 4+.
So 2 of those
2 successes. Now, if the difficulty rating, I'll reveal a little bit of information. If the difficulty rating was difficulty 1, then you only need 1 success to complete that task. If the difficulty rating was 2, then you'd need 2 successes, difficulty 3, and so on. Now, there's no threshold, which I hadn't talked about. Threshold is like a complication that removes one of your successes. Think of it like a negative die. Negative, but however you don't roll it, it's just taken away before you actually make the roll. So that's a success. Harlan, as you're looking, Nilix, you can see there's trails of smoke coming from within the settlement. You can see that.
I think there's something wrong with the settlement.
Is a little bit different. It's a different sort of smoke. Yeah.
Like a danger.
If you're looking at the bridge, yeah. You can read the smoke signals. So Axton, as you're looking at the bridge, it's the same sort of thing. You use your base dice, any instinct dice you want to use, or any advantage you have, and again, I've set the difficulty, and you just need to succeed.
Yeah, okay, so I'll just use 1 and 1. I'll just use the base dice and the one instinct dice. 2 5s.
2 5s. Successes. Again, the bridge, the pathway into Nilox, it looks structurally sound. It looks safe, as you expect, because of the hog grease. It's slick, but the way you set up the carts, boots that would be able to deal with that slickness. So everything looks structurally fine and sound to you. Now, for active instinctively, Harlan, you get yourself another instinct dice to add to your pool, but you don't get that until
the end of the scene.
Actually, no, you would get that because you're not in a scene. You're not necessarily in a scene, so you can get that now.
Cool.
All right.
So I'm back up to 9.
Yep. Okay. So what you've seen, trails of smoke that look unusual. It looks far more excessive smoke than there would be if it was just cooking fires, like that, hearth fires.
Yeah, and I would relate that to everybody and say, I think there might be danger in Nelix. I can see smoke on the horizon. It's a little tough to see. I think we should be cautious, but I do think, well, put it this way, being so cautious and so worried about losing the water, is there a place to hide the cart? Maybe tuck it off the beaten path so that we could approach on foot to the city and then retrieve it later?
You know this area very well, Andy. From your adventures, you know, not Andy, I mean Basil. You know all the nooks
What's
and crannies. Where would we find something?
Well, as somebody who's very greedy, I'm very much in favour of hiding what we've got, and I'm trying to find it. But I think as a forager, I can kind of apply some reverse foraging here, and find a spot that would be hard to find, and maybe sort of like hide it in there.
Good
Yeah.
thinking. And it's not a hard thing to do. So all you need to you don't necessarily have to do a roll for everything. It can be left up to my discretion. Now again, I like your thinking, so I'm going to give you an instinct dice for acting that way, but I'm not going to make you roll because you know that as you travel the caravan routes, there are like off ramps every now and then that go down into the lower levels of the Evergut. So it is possible for you to take your cart down into a low level using one of these off-ramps, which is just before the entryway into Neux. The caravan route itself goes directly into the township, to the stronghold. So there's no way of going around it unless you do go down via the slip road into the lower levels. Right? So you can do that. That's not a problem at all. You find
Let's just hide it in a fold of fat. Lift a
cart.
fold of fat and hide the cart underneath the fat.
We come back and it's been into the
And there's
fat.
you find an exceptionally a good sized polyp, and you just lift it up and lower the polyp, and it sits nicely over the cart.
Gross.
Yeah, I just like saying polyp.
Excellent.
Yes, polyp.
All right.
Good, that would give me.
And
peace
then
of mind,
As
though.
greedy as Basil is, I'm not sure but he wants it back now.
That just adds that water.
Well, they're all
adds
steel.
the taste of the water, you know. Perfect. Okay,
That's the
now
flavor.
that's done, I would feel more comfortable about approaching. So what I would do is have we been to the city before? Are there any alternate routes into the city?
Yes.
Then I would investigate.
No, the caravan
those
route
first.
itself goes straight through to the main door.
Oh, okay. So there's no other routes. In which case, maybe we should approach on foot. Well, obviously on foot. We should approach.
The gateway, or the entranceway, is just a large, oversized door to accommodate the travel of carts through it. Now, again, it's all one-way traffic. These caravan ways are not wide enough. If you want to go back the other way, you have to go around, get off at an off-ramp, just like you did when you hit the cart, and travel to the other side, find another one, and go back up and go the other way. Now, it doesn't mean everyone sticks to that rule. There are opportunities for fights and arguments to break out, and have done, because people deciding that, I'm not going to go all the way around. So what happens is generally you're working from one settlement to another, so that's your route.
Okay. Are there any other ways into the settlement? I think that
There are screams in the background.
Is that in real or your kids?
Yes.
A and B.
A and B.
Oh, okay. Coming
I
from the
immediately
city.
pull out my daggers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would pull out my crowbar, which is my trusty weapon, my trotter wrench, or whatever it was called. Half-Life style.
I like it.
And I would be very cautious, and turn to the others and say, look, that city might be under attack, but I don't necessarily think it's our place to step in and try to stop it.
Well, we have
So
this.
do we
water-
go and investigate?
Maybe. I'm kind of thinking, and I turn to
City Hunter.
I turn to Basil and I say, I think it actually might be one of the situations we're waiting until the city's maybe ransacked, and sliding in and taking what we can might be more beneficial.
A
But
city
the-
under attack does present certain opportunities.
It does, but let's not forget that Neux is inside that city, and he has provided us good business for many years, or many months.
Neux is the city.
Yeah, I thought it was a person too, but Nilix is the name of the city.
Ah,
I misunderstood.
contact-
It's the name of the stronghold, yeah.
Our contact inside Neux is
it's been good. And if anything happens to them, then we have no guarantee that this water is going to be. We're going to fetch a good price for it.
It's water. I think it'll be good no matter where we get it.
I agree.
I think we're sitting on gold, guys. I think right now the smartest and best thing would be to hang back, watch if anyone comes out of the city, and then sneak in after the fires are put out, and see what we can't scavenge ourselves. To me, this is no different than if we came across a settlement on the road.
You raise good points, Solus.
You'd think that you'd think that normally there would be guards, some sort of a guard stationed at the door, at the entranceway. But in this case, there aren't. There's nobody on the front area of the entranceway into the stronghold. As someone who's been there many times, you would find strange.
Yeah, to me, being a survivor, being someone who is in the best of intentions, but for themselves, I think, the logical action would be to wait, observe from a distance, see if anyone gets out alive, and then swoop in afterwards and try to, like vultures. As terrible as a comparison as that is, I think that's the safest and most survivable route.
We're in a giant stomach right now. I think vultures is a glorified term.
So where are you standing?
As far away as possible.
Yeah, I guess we'd be kind of huddled.
I would suggest we moving farther from the cart so that we're not, if someone were to get the drop on us, they're not going to hijack our water. But that would be my only suggestion.
Is there anywhere that I could get a look inside the city or the settlement to sort of see what's going on? As Stupid is quite curious, he wants to go and see.
Yep. There are tiers to the city. So the level you're on, the caravan way, is what it's commonly called. That's the main entrance in and out. And there's a entrance on this side and there's one on the other side. So if you're traveling on the caravan way and you're going straight through, you go through one door and you travel through the stronghold and you leave via the other door and continue on your way. However, the structures do go up and down the wall. So there are tiers. So you can see there are steps. And looking, you can see that it is possible, totally possible to climb the walls. You could climb down, you could climb up. You do start to see, because of your vantage point, you can sort of see some activity in the lower portion, in the lower part of the city.
Basil, what does the lower part of the city encompass? What's down there? I guess at our level, it's all trading and caravans, but lower down, it's different.
The lower down part is just the peasants. There's nothing good there. We want to go to the upper levels.
So we're going full ransack the city.
What's up? The upper levels are your leadership caste, that sort of thing. Axton was right. On the level you're on is all trading, merchants, caravan way, things like that. If you go down into the lower area, it's the residences and of the poorer class that live there, and that's basically the way it's constructed. So, as usual, shit falls downhill. Flows downhill. The top is at the cream of the crop is at the top, the merchant class, and then the lower class underneath. Side of this belly of the gut.
Listen, Solus.
I'm thinking my wife.
Screaming's getting.
Yeah, I think at this point, because my other main trait is curiosity as well. I think actually I'm now having a change of heart, and I turn to Leviticus.
And you can see that I'm nervous. I'm ready to go with your decision of just sitting it out and just waiting for night. But you can tell I'm kind of wringing my hands and I'm looking longingly at the city.
Yeah. No, I think it would be easier to hang back and scavenge afterwards, but I also think if we are no better than the people who took my wife and child, the reavers that haunt these lands, if we're no better than them, then how can we hope to make this world a more livable place. I think we have to step up where others have failed. I think we need to start making a change. And with that, I start walking towards the city.
I pull out my crossbow and follow.
And shoot you in the back. Boom! His stuff, mine.
Bravery has no place here.
Basil, do you follow?
Well, if we go in there now, we might be able to get some better stuff before somebody else takes it. I follow.
Yes. I suppose I will follow also. Okay, here we go. All my
All right,
daggers
so
go.
yeah, is there? And you said there's no other way except for the main gate in. So I think we should approach very cautiously. Who amongst us is the best at sneak? Does anyone have a talent that's beneficial to sneaking?
I've got hunting.
I've
Hunting?
got my talent is sneaker.
Oh, perfect. Then Leviticus. That's literally perfect. Unless you make running shoes, I say you take the lead.
No, that's what I meant. I have really nice running shoes. Adidas,
Nike, Adidas. I got all the best sneakies.
That's what I scavenge. I focus on that. Through water.
There's a large vat of clean drinking water and some Adidas. Take the Adidas. Yeah, we'll take them. No, we're good. Leave the water. Okay, so then I would kind of crouch down because I was walking ahead, and I would point to Leviticus, knowing him as being the best amongst us, and I would kind of do the old, which means go see what you can see, and then let me.
I know exactly what it is. And so I
What
crouch
do you,
down.
elf? I see, Leviticus.
I crouch down, and I've got this aura about me, I guess, that I just kind of blend into the background. I don't actually, but I've got dark skin, so it's cool.
You just have to
And
lean against the dark wall.
that's it. And I don't smile. And I begin crouch.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't going to say it.
Hey, he can say it.
I can
say
say
it. I can.
And I begin making my way towards the
Okay.
city.
Okay.
So, Invictus, you can, as you do that, you get yourself into a position, your crouching position. You've got the sneak ability.
Mm-hmm.
So, sneaker, was it the sneaker? Was it your talent?
Is there a list of talents?
Yeah. So you can.
No.
You just pick one.
No.
Stealthy, I think.
Yeah, it's up to you. It's
Yeah. It's,
so the
I
talent
guess-
is something that you've chosen.
Exactly. Yeah. Sneaker.
Yeah. So that gives you advantage. So you get to make this roll as you're moving towards, and I assume you're moving in towards the main entrance.
So
So
I guess I
that's how you're stealthily trying to get in.
If there was a easier way to look like a conveniently placed window, I'd look through that first. But I guess sneaking in the front door
Yep.
would be the easiest way in. And I'm not much of a climber. I don't think I have that anywhere. So, yeah, I just sneak up to the door and see if there's any action on the other side.
There are, in fact, arrow slits, vertical arrow slits. So and they are accessible to you. So as you're to have a look to do this without being detected, you'll make a roll using your advantage of your sneakiness,
Okay.
plus your base dice, and then any other instinct dice you want to throw into that.
Okay. So I'm going to use, I think, one instinct. What's the difficulty of the roll?
We don't get to know.
We don't get to know. Okay.
That's known to me.
Right. Okay, so I get one for my just rolling, one for advantage.
Yep.
And then one
Yep.
for my instinct. So I'm rolling 3 die,
That's right.
and this is for stealth. Okay,
Yes.
Nice. Hey, that's not bad at all.
so that's
Okay.
2 successes.
Exactly how you would expect to do, and because you're acting, you use one of your skills. I was gonna say, are you acting instinctively? Yeah, because that's all tied into your
Loyalty,
instincts,
I guess.
isn't it? What were your instincts?
My instincts are
And
loyalty and
what was the other one?
fear.
Fear.
Okay, fear. Fear works well because that makes you extra cautious. So that's the sneakiness. So you can get your an instant dice reward for that.
Okay.
And as you're doing so, you have a look inside, and you can see there are people running all over the place. You can see that there has been definitely signs of conflict. There are some carts and things like that on fire. You don't see anybody acting in an aggressive way from where you can see. All you can see is you can see people running past who look like they might be guardsmen, something like that, and you can see tending wounded or tending bees on the ground.
Okay, so at that point I gesture for the others to come closer and to line up against the wall behind me.
Yeah, and I move up and you follow.
And I relay the information and show them through the slit. Do we go in now, or do we wait? It looks like they could use our help.
I think we should go in. I think it's worth the risk, but I think only Leviticus and one other should go in. I think 2 should stay back in case someone does get the drop, and then we have advantage. Who would be the most combat savvy amongst us? Does anyone have a talent? Okay, so I think
Yeah.
I think you and Leviticus in that case should take the lead, and Basil and I hang back, just to make sure it's clear, right? Because if we all 4 of us move in and it ends up being some sort of whatever, then we've screwed ourselves over. But this way we can be a bit clever about it.
Okay. Jupiter, let's go.
Sounds good.
I follow. Yeah, go on.
So, the gates, are we able to open them just slightly, just so that we can get our bodies through?
You can. They're not barred. They don't appear to be barred, and they open inward.
Okay.
So, which tells you that they someone's either closed it. Normally, for this time, they'd expect caravans. The gates would be unbarred for trading, and there's like a window that the gates would be open for. And at this time, the gate was open, not open, but unbarred. Whereas during the evening, outside of the window, the gate would be barred. All right, so you're able to push it, and it just swings open gently, and then the noise that coming, people barking orders, and people start to pay attention that something's happening with the door, but nobody's coming to approach you aggressively or anything like that. All you can see is just people tending wounded, tending the dead, going into damage control, putting out fires that are on carts and some small structures.
So I get the impression that this area is safe, that we're not walking into an ambush right now. This is a safe place for us. So I say, Solus and Basil, come. There are many wounded. And I make my way towards just some sick people and see if I can help. There's some people on the ground.
And unknowingly, I stand up and walk in. Leviticus, don't you think if this were an ambush, this would be the perfect time to do so? That's exactly the type of image I would be putting forward to try to ransack anyone we could. But never mind, buddy.
They're wearing guards' uniforms. There are people obviously down on the ground. I think we are safe.
All right, but I will remember that if we're not. Well, I'm also very fearful, so I suppose that comes through. All right, yeah, I would say we each try to take someone to help.
Well, who looks like the leader of the area?
I was just going to say, as you're walking in, somebody does react to your entering into the area, and you do have a contact here, and it is in fact, You've been here before. I mean, Andy, maybe you've been here more times, but everybody who comes in with a caravan is met by the caravan or the wagon master. And this gentleman comes towards you, recognizing Andy, that you're one of the regular caravan people. So he approaches you and goes, "Please, quickly, come in. We need your help."
What's happened? Who's... Who's done this?
We've been attacked by the Chuban. They've come in. They've raided us not long ago. They've come in. They've killed people. The Chuban they've killed people. They've taken our supplies, our wagon trains, and they've left again. Okay.
All right, should we go have a look, guys?
What?
He urges you over. They've killed many people. They've set fire to things. They've come and they've gone. You've missed them.
So
Are they gone?
They have left.
Okay.
They came through the south gate, which is the opposite gate to the one you've come. You come through the north gate. They've gone through the south. Sorry, they've gone through the tailward gate. You came through the headward gate.
Ah,
To use the
right.
term.
No,
Okay.
no north and south.
So the Chuban, what are the Chuban? Have we heard of those before?
If any of you can make a law roll.
Yep, Basil's pretty good.
Yeah. Let's get Basil.
Yeah. So Basil's he's capable for law, so 4+. So I roll a couple of dice.
Yep.
3 dice. Yeah. Yep.
Well,
Okay.
you can roll 1. You can roll 1 for the base
Okay.
dice. You can roll 2 if you want to spend instinct dice.
Right. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Well.
Child hanging for your 5 is a success.
Okay. Cool.
Alright. Now you recognise, you know of the Chuban, and they have. They're traders, not like not scavengers like yourself. They don't operate the scavenger caravans, but they have been responsible for attacks on Nilox in the past. They don't have a great relationship with the people who live in Nilox. They tend to fall in and out of favour quite frequently over the years. And you recognise the sigil and armour that's sort of lying around. You can hear the wailing and the crying. People are dead. People are very upset. One of my kids is very upset. So I'm just going to go and sort him out.
Go with it. It's great. I love it.
It really is very thematic.
It is.
It is. The gnashing of the teeth and the wailing. All
Yep.
right.
Okay, so we know
he's
that
asking you for help against the raiders.
Okay.
So is he asking us to go after the raiders?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a hunting party. I'm looking to make it headward, get as much money we can from our stock, and get out of town. I'm not looking for a job.
They've taken
Well,
the wagons
Basil's
that
curious.
you were here
What's
to collect.
the reward? What's in it for us?
Well, your supply. They've taken the wagons. Our trade was for the water. We take the water. We give you the jars. That was the deal. They've taken the jars.
Fair enough. Well, then there is no deal. I appreciate your time,
Well,
and we'll see you later. Well, my logic is, and I say to these guys
They
quietly,
have not gotten far.
I say to these guys
Advice.
quietly, I say, well, look, now we get the water, and we can stop the Chuban and get that. There's no reason to make the trade anymore if these guys have nothing to trade. Let's win both sides. Let's keep the caravan hidden. To these guys, I'm saying this, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's keep the caravan hidden.
just like quick brew puddle.
Yeah. Let's track down the Chuban, get our supplies, and not return them, and that way we end up with both sides of the coin. That's my logic.
How do you plan to get the water through Nelux if there's only one road to get it through?
I'm saying we make this a legit fair deal. I mean, I don't know how charisma works in this game, but I turn around and stroke his face. Friend, how are you doing this evening? Let me think of something. I see you at a bit of a disadvantage here. We came here with the purpose of a trade. We would be trading you the purified water, and you'd be in turn trading us the jars. You do not have said jars. To get these jars back for you and then make the trade is not an equal trade at that point because, of course, we don't have it. How about this? We will give you 1/4 of the original proposed purified water in exchange for the work it takes to retrieve your supplies. 1/4 of the purified water, and we get to keep the cart. Does that sound fair?
He thinks this over. Let's roll. Let's see. What gives you an advantage in this discussion? Because you're trying to convince him to take your deal. However, he does realize that he is in a desperate situation. He needs the water. He wants the water, so he's willing to make a deal. But it's just whether or not your deal is the one that he's going to settle on. So that's what we're going to roll against to see whether he's accepting of your offer. He's ready to deal, but you got to convince him that your deal is the one that he should take, or maybe he should offer a counter.
Okay. So my influence is acceptable, which means I'll need a 5 or higher. So I will take the 1 from it, and I will spend 3 influence dies for a total of 4 because I fucked everyone over because I'm not the best talker, and I couldn't separate fiction from reality here, and I just needed to get my words out. So let's see what happens.
But you did come up with the deal, so he's speaking to you directly. He's taken you to be the leader, and you've got 2 5s there. He looks at you. He looks at you appreciatively, and he's, we can have a deal. You do this work, then when you come back, we can talk about the rest of the water.
Perfect.
So he's having.
We're going to need to bring our water cart through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I was just going to say, he'll take your deal, and on your return, he's ready to discuss for the rest of the water, bargaining for the rest of the water.
Yeah, good luck with that. At that point, someone with actual skill in bargaining will do it. All right, perfect. So let's do reconnaissance mode and find out as much as we can about these targets.
Okay.
Cool.
What you've done, you've had a look. What you can see is very visible. Trademark sigils of the Tuban have been left lying around. So you can see clearly the Tuban are implicated in this attack. The evidence is there. It's obvious.
And they said that they went down the south road?
They went out via the Tailwood gate.
Tailward. There's no such thing as south, Leviticus. I don't know what you're talking about.
Tailward, right? Of course, yes. No,
what does south? What does south even mean?
I read it in a book once. Jupiter.
Yes.
I guess it's your lead. You'd be able to find these people better than I would, at least, with your hunting background, I think.
Yes, would say we travel tailward towards the tail, and I will see what I can see as we go. So,
do we know enough about the Tuban to expect them leaving sigils around, or is there the slight possibility that this could be a plant of sorts, a smaller faction leaving sigils? To me, it seems sloppy. If you're going in to make a hit, you don't leave your banner lying around because then you're just painting a target on your back.
It's kind of like pride.
You can see the sigils on the armor, though, wasn't it?
Matt?
Oh,
No?
like like a tabard sort of thing. It can be put on banner, that sort of thing. Maybe it was. Somebody's left a banner lying around. Somebody's left a piece of armor here, but a shield identifies them as being the Tuban. That's what he's got to base this on, and the prior history with the Tubans. So they've been on and off again. They've had complications with them in the past. So that's who seems most likely to have carried out the attack.
Can we
However, you
sort of
can
figure out how
investigate.
many there were? Like, can ask us as men that we're dealing with how many there were before we leave? Because that would sort of
You're
tell
speaking
me
to-
how many footprints and that kind of stuff.
You're speaking to Chrom. He's the leader of the settlement in Nilox. There were at least a dozen of them. And they came in looking like they were a cart, like a caravan cart. And he points down towards towards the Tailwood Gate, and he says, "Those were the carts they brought in."
Oh, so they left without the carts.
Yeah.
Okay. It's quite muddy. These trails are quite muddy or wet.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Everything's very humid in here, so there's a lot of moisture. Everything it makes everything slick. Yeah, muddy trails, not uncommon. In those places where it has a rain ecosystem, it leaves mud trails and whatnot. Yeah, so it's not hard to pick up a track. It's picking up the right track.
Yeah, that's right. So if we head out through the the Tailwood Gate, and just follow that for a little bit, and I'll keep an eye on the ground and see if I can see what looks like around about a dozen men walking in a particular direction as we go, just to sort of try and find a trail.
All right.
Okay. So you make your way down to where the carts were, which is their point of origin.
Yeah.
From tells you to speak to Rolt down there. Rolt is the captain of the guard, or sergeant at arms, whatever you want to call it, down that end. So there's two groups. So there's the Headwood and the Tailwood guard company, if you like, and Rolt is in charge of the Tailwood company. So speak to her, and she'll give you more information.
We should do that.
And as you look,
too.
Agreed.
You pick out amongst the activity that's going on around on this level, and you see there is somebody who does seem to be in charge down there, pointing out directions, asking various guardsmen to move the bodies of the dead and that sort of thing. So it's very easily to pick. And she's quite a tall woman, wearing leathers that give off the telltale sign that they've been covered in the hog grease. So she's wearing leathers covered in hog grease, which is a preservative, as you know. And Is
she a well-equipped woman?
Well, you could say that the tightness of the leather hides the curvedness of the bosom.
Oh, okay, nice.
But she looks like she's quite tough.
Oh.
She's leading the guard here, so I'm sure she's no pushover.
Okay.
All right. And we go.
So you've picked her out. You've picked her out. She's talking to one of her guardsmen at the moment, giving him orders to shift some dead bodies.
I think while they go to speak to this lady, I'm just gonna help the wounded. My specialty is chirurgeon or however you pronounce that.
Chirurgeon.
Yeah, there you go. So that's what I'd be doing, I think.
Yep.
And I guess I'll be with them. No, you know what? I'll probably help the wounded too. Actually, let these guys take the lead. Because I mean, if we're going to be You know, I don't know what I would be doing. I don't think I'd be helping them. I don't think I'd be doing any of these things. I think I would be probably looking for stuff, not to steal, but kind of stuff that I'm maybe just eyeing to see if I could equip myself with a better weapon. I mean, how many people are dead? Roughly.
There's, by the looks of it, there's a dozen or more.
So 12 people killed 12. Like, did they just?
That you can see.
I mean, they're not firing into a crowd. They had
That
to
you can see.
strike them all down. To me, that seems really odd. Is there anyone? I'm gonna really quickly.
Looking
Again,
at
not
some
to diverge. I just want to look around and see if anyone is acting in a suspicious manner. Is anyone kind of trying to divert their gaze, or maybe making busy work, like as if they're feeling uncomfortable about not the fact that there was attack, but uncomfortable with the fact that we're here asking questions?
So we'll make a perception or
Yeah,
awareness roll.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, just an
Well, actually,
awareness
Basil
roll.
has one useful there.
You do? You know what? Then I would say it's a Basil, and I would see if he wanted to.
I can spend 1d to learn something immediately useful about the scene.
Oh, I have that too. Yeah, the curiosity one.
Okay, yeah, that might give us something useful.
Well, you know what? I'll do it just because if I get it, I get a dice back, and I'm already down to 7.
Ooh, go for it, man.
If that's okay.
Yep.
Because I used 3 for my last one. So no, I'm actually at 6. Sorry, my bad. So I will do that, and I will spend 2 of them plus the original, so a total of 3 dice, and at least 1 success.
There you go. Got it. So, on looking, you don't outwardly see anyone no one's acting suspicious, is what I'm trying to say. Everything's busy with what they're doing, helping the wounded, shifting the bodies of the dead, putting out the fires. You don't get a sense that there's anyone who's sitting back just watching, reveling, in what's going on. Not at all. Yeah, everyone seems to be busy. Everyone here seems to look like they're appropriate for the scene, appropriate for the situation. No one looks out of place. Looking at the carts, which you're now down by the carts, which is where Ruther is, you can see that they're tarpaulin, like a tarp that's been peeled back. The carts themselves, there's 2 of them, are empty.
So it was an ambush.
That's what it looks like.
All right. Well, then I would kind of nod
Trojan
to Basil.
horse,
I'd share what I thought. I said, look, no one was looking off. Something doesn't sit right, but everything looks up and up. So I'd kind of let these guys take the lead and say, well, whatever you guys think is best.
Yep, agreed.
Well, I'm going to go talk to this Master at Arms. And
Rolt.
And see what she has to say. Rolt, yeah, and I want to hear what she has to say about everything that's been happening down here, and maybe I will ask also what she knows about these people, or sort of where they headed, if we can get a better bearing.
Yeah. Rolta is a very stern woman. No nonsense. She's also very busy. But when you start talking to her about the attack, she has this information for you. The carts, and they jumped out of the carts. It was an ambush. They came in disguised, not as they were. They were coming in to do trade. That's why they were let in. And then all of a sudden, there was an attack. There were crossbows, bolts flying through the air. They took out the lead guards. And then all of a sudden they were upon us. There was nothing we could do. We were not ready. We had people spread all over the place, guarding the headward gate and the southward. We split our forces. We number our soldiers here. We don't have many. We're out in our walls, and these people these Shuban got inside our walls. You get a feel. She's no nonsense, straight to the point. She's there's an identification mark on a cart, which is the Shuban sigil, and she points that out to you, that this is the children, this is their work, those pests.
So I guess really we just wanted to know where they
Looking at
went.
the cards
So.
themselves, you clearly see this. Well, like you were saying before, looking for the track, you can see that the track, the impressions left by the cart, leading out through the Tailwood Gate.
Good. Yeah, we can follow the cart trail back, hopefully,
And
It's
Leviticus
very obvious.
to where they
Leviticus-
came from, at least.
stands up and wipes some blood off his hands and says, "Well, we best be leaving soon because those Chubin will get further and further the longer we wait."
Absolutely. Is there any kind of mode of transport that we could take?
Pigback?
Pigback,
Well-
yeah, it could be
Piggyback, yeah.
pigback.
Now, the hogs in this area, they are incredibly large, oversized for what you would commonly expect. For some reason, the hogs thrive down in these conditions. All that are there are the ones that are attached to the carts that have brought in. So you see there were 2 carts, both bearing the Tuban sigil, and both of them drawn by 2 hogs. So the hogs are still there.
Do these hogs have any sort of? So I know when you let a horse go, it will actually go back to where it came from. So could we do a similar thing with the hogs?
That's good thinking. What would you roll to see?
Blind eyes, like
Well, I guess
Death
it'd
and
just be
Robin
rolling to
Hood.
see success. Yeah.
Follow me back to Robin Hood.
Yeah. Well, is that what you want? That's what you decide. Are you going to release the hog?
Well, you know
And,
what? Yeah,
see if
that
it leads
might
you
be a
back
great
to-
idea. Yeah, let it go, and then kind of
Release the hogs of war.
follow it in the shadows, and then see, so we're not just kind of riding in on a hog.
Hmm. So
All
do,
right.
how do I
So
do
you
I determine the success for this?
Well, actually, it's just that you undo tethering. That's you unhook the hog, and it's sort of snuffling about. The hog motivation is food, so that's all they do. The way they get the hogs to move around is by like a feed bag sort of situation that keeps them moving. So they're all constantly eating, and they'll eat anything. They'll chew through bone, that sort of thing. I think that's where it comes from. You feed them to the hogs. So he doesn't seem very interested in heading anywhere. It's motivation food. It's looking for something to eat. So at this stage, it's not going to be of any use
So
to
put
you.
a carrot on a stick and hold it out in front of it until it's.
It starts heading in the right direction.
Well, they're
Alright,
going to
Start eat something near it so it smells it and then goes, I want to go home and get some food.
Well, what do you think, Jupiter? Do we
Do
leave
you remember
now?
that the
Do we wait for the
I think we
hogs?
just leave and follow the tracks back to where they came from.
They would be
Yes,
slowed
yes.
down. They would be slowed down with the caravan and all. It sounds like there were quite a bit of them too.
they have, because they've taken the caravan that were meant for you. They've taken that and another.
How many hogs would we have gotten with the caravan?
Typically, for a large caravan, you're looking at 4, but for a smaller caravan, which is what these ones were, 2.
So they're being pulled by 2. Hog power. We need
Yeah.
more hog power.
You know, the hogs are also used. The hogs are also used as pack, so they're pack hogs. So they don't just pull the caravans; they also carry the weight on their back.
And they make
Yeah.
tasty bacon.
So they it's not uncommon to see it's not uncommon to see a single traveller out there with a hog, just with everything packed on the hog. They're quite strong, and they can carry quite a load. Yeah.
Perfect. Well,
So I'll
however
let
you
you
guys want to
decide.
proceed, I'm good to go. However you guys want to go.
Ready?
Yep. Let's follow.
Let's go.
So we'll slap the pig's ass. Yeah! Yeah!
So,
Two of
let's
us
see,
per
buddy.
pig.
Where's the food, bro? Where's
Yeah, the
food?
pigs aren't coming with us, right? It's just us.
No.
No.
I just wanted to jump on
Yeah.
one and slap it.
Sweet.
No, we'll just head out.
Yeah, you could ride hogs. Yeah, people ride hogs too. You know, that's an option. They don't move incredibly fast, but you could certainly try.
Were people killed by crossbows or swords? What were the majority of them killed by?
Most of them were cut down by
Okay.
blades. However, the initial guardsmen were a crossbow was used. You could see it was firmly sticking out of wherever it struck them.
Did any of the sorry, what were they called? The
Cuban.
I forget. Yeah, were there any of the Cubans? Were any of the Cuban killed, or did they all just kill and none of them got hit? Like, there's no bodies of Cubans, are there?
No.
That seems super odd to me, but whatever. I'm sure at least a dead guard would have had a sword, and it's more effective than my my crowbar. So I will put my crowbar into my back satchel, of course, and I will take one of their swords instead, and then we'll hoof it to wherever the tracks lead. It seems odd that none of them died, though. Something seems fishy.
Very cool.
And left sigils as well. It's very strange.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think this was a hit. This feels like a targeted hit. Guy can't pay us with a thing. Oh, the cart got stolen. Go retrieve it. We lead out of town. They attack us. I mean, killing 12 people, that might have been a bit much, so I don't know. But just, as Obi-Wan would say, doesn't feel
Surprise
right.
attack. But they were caught by surprise. However,
Still.
yeah.
However, what?
The trail out. So
yeah.
the carts that left, the carts that left through the Tailwood Gate have left a track, so you can follow those. They're in the same way the tracks came in, the tracks were going out. And remember, that's that actual way that they should be going, which is another interesting thing, because why did the carts come through that entrance?
See? I feel like I should be
Normally,
asking you
traffic
questions.
is one way. You know traffic is one way.
Did that, when we were questioning that Holt guy, Holtz, or Colt, Colt?
Crumb.
I didn't write
Crumb.
his name down. Crumb.
Yep.
I'm going to write it down this time. When we were questioning him, was he acting fishy at all, or was he straightforward? Although, I feel like I keep wasting rolls with seeing if people are fishy, and it leads me nowhere. But I feel like the one time I don't question it, it's going to be like, well, you never questioned Crumb. No, you know what? We'll continue the objective. We'll move forward. I feel like we'll keep going. I won't hold up the party.
Yep.
Okay. So the tracks are easily to pick up. Axton, you find them no trouble at all. As caravans come in and out, obviously things get trampled down, sort of washed over, but these, because they're very recent, they're very obvious, and they lead directly out through the Tailwood Gate, and then they just travel on back down the caravan. Now, the caravan route itself, because they're wood boards that are continuously maintained as they get old and start to degrade. After time, they do degrade. They need to be replaced. So what you're traveling along is not dirt, but it's the wooden slats of the caravan way out there, okay? And so you sort of see the traces of the mud, but then it does start to fade off. As you would expect, the mud wears off the wheels as they go around. So eventually you're at a point where you don't have much of a trail to go by. Excuse me.
I am
So
confused. Why
basically,
do the tracks end?
the tracks are tougher to follow now, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
There is not a far ahead of you. There is an off-ramp which leads down into an area known as the web, which is a very heavily compacted thing, mishmash of buildings and debris and all that sort of thing. It's a lower area of the Evergut, and that's one of two possible routes. The first one is that they've gone straight ahead, although from where you are, you've got fairly good vantage. It's quite a straight road. It just sort of curves around the, if you imagine the folds of the stomach, so it does sort of go around, winding. However, that's one way, and you can see that's fairly clear. The other way is down the off-ramp into the lower region. That you don't know about. You can't, from where you are, you can't sort of see. It's just one of two options.
Right.
Well,
how about
Jupiter,
I?
Can you?
Oh.
I was going to say, can Jupiter? You're a hunter.
Yes.
I've noticed you catching a lot of game. Is there any way you can track these paths as the tracks have now faded?
Some of the signs that I can look for. Suppose I'd have to make a roll for that map.
Yeah.
Um,
If you want to pick up any sort of sign, yep.
So I've got my curiosity and my awareness is acceptable. Cunning is capable. So I guess I'll use cunning to try and determine where exactly these guys went. And I'll use 3 dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, in case I didn't mention it before, when it comes to the instinct dice that you earn, if you're keeping track of them, every time you use something that's applicable to your instinct, then give yourself a dice to your pool.
I have been, yeah.
Otherwise,
so
it can become quite a task. Yeah.
I've spent a lot, but I'm at 6 because I keep getting one back per roll.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, 4 pluses, 2 successes.
Okay. You don't notice that as towards the off ramp, there are spots of blood.
There were injuries.
They look fresh.
Cool.
Fresh.
So I'd say they'd gone down the off ramp then.
Okay. Let me scout ahead. I will see what I can find and then let you know if the way is clear. I have imagined that they might have posted sentries outside of the web.
Yeah, be clever about it. If they took out 12 plus people without a single one of them being killed, and looks like only injured, then we may be dealing with an extremely, extremely dangerous group.
I will. So I pull out a lampshade and I put it on my head, begin walking down the path.
Ah, where did he go? I don't see him now. There's only that lamp standing over there.
Yeah, so I take the high ground, careful not to silhouette against the
And I'll take
sky.
the low road.
And we'll be in Scotland afore. And yeah, I sneak ahead to see what I can make out of the situation ahead. The web.
And how far does the sphere of influence work on your instincts? Because I have that fear where I can spend to identify potential danger in a scene. Would it apply or be applicable to where he's looking, Matt, or would it only be where I immediately am?
No, I think it would apply to what's within a reasonable distance. You know, if you're out scouting and you're looking for trail tracks, things that are out of place, you tend to look ahead of you. So you might notice something sticking, something that shouldn't be. So I would say you've got near, sort of near, like a close. Close would be, with the arm's reach. That's close, within arm's reach. Near would be anything that you could get to in a very short space of time. Let's say 5 or 6 paces, and then you can be near. So let's look just sort of beyond that, and
So yeah,
that's,
so if I
that's
roll
your
this,
sphere of influence.
where he is, basically, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. Because you're watching where Invictus is going, so you're noticing things that he perhaps can't see.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna, and I don't want to risk it because obviously I care about him. I'm going to spend two of my IDs and one of the regular, and that's going to be no. I'm gonna fail that roll completely.
Ouch.
That sucked. Sorry, buddy. Good luck.
It's okay. I did really well on my stealth roll, my fearful stealth sneaking roll, and I succeeded in all 3 because I'm brilliant stealthy.
Nice.
And Matt is muted, but he will tell me what happens. So Leviticus sneaks forward along the edge of.
And you slip on poop.
That's fine. What you succeed, so you manage to stealthily. You're moving down the off ramp.
Yeah.
Now, Harlan, back to you, and what you fail to notice, I guess, can come around as a thematic consequence. So, what are the consequences? What makes sense in this situation that might happen? I'd say probably not a hell of a lot. You maybe fail to notice something, but it's not necessarily a dangerous situation to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If I failed
so
my
I'd say there's
fear
no
check,
consequence.
Well, what about me being overtly? What about me falsifying fear? What if I think there's something there? You know what I mean? What if I'm like, because I'm trying to think of a consequence for trying to be susceptible to fear, and I shout out something like Leviticus, duck, or something like that, and it's nothing, and now I've alerted someone to our presence, maybe.
Oh.
Perfect. That sounds good. Okay. Not that I'm necessarily going to use it, but that sounds like what you've. There's that.
Not that I want to give myself more reasons to be killed, but.
But there's that perceived threat, and you send out a warning to Invictus, who's looking around and you go, what? I can't see anything. Which means, I guess in a sense, if you do that again, it's the boy who cried wolf. So if you were to say give him an alert again, maybe he's not going to take as much notice to you.
Oh, he would always trust me. He's my boy, Leviticus.
Okay, so I'm
you
freeze, and I immediately look to the entrance of the web and duck down to see if anybody stirs or if there's any movement down there.
You do notice that there's something off a little bit further down into the web, like in a clear sort of space. There's something sort of on the ground, just sort of lying there in like a clearing.
Okay. So
from where you are, it looks like a hog.
Okay. And I gesture back to the others that there's a hog there.
And
that's the
immediately I dip my fingers in the blood and smell it. And actually I let the hunter smell it. Smell my fingers. Here, buddy.
Will he fall for that again?
Gross.
But I want to know. Come on, we know each other. We've been friends a long time.
Yeah.
No, but does it
So
smell
only
like pig's blood?
only Invictus has seen this.
Oh,
Yeah. So Leviticus, he just gestures that there's something there, and I think I just keep going. I just keep going and try to keep on being stealthy just to see what it is. But I think I would gesture to the others that it's safe to come up to a certain point. I I gesture for the
Yep.
hunter. The hunter does. Do you have a bow, Jupiter?
Yeah, I have crossbow.
Okay. So what I'll do, I'll come back to you guys and I'll say, okay. So there's definitely something dead down. Well, something down there. I will get closer, but I think it could be interesting if Jupiter were to take the high ground. We could set up an ambush if we were able to draw them out. But I do think that they are in there.
Yeah, I agree. I'll ready my crossbow and walk up to a vantage point. Can I see any sort of good vantage points where I might not be seen? Matt?
The ground's very broken, so there are like rocky outcrops. There are large pieces of masonry just all over the place that you could climb upon to get a better vantage point. Everything's sort of pressed together down here, like it's collapsed long ago, and just as that continuous sort of movement of things through the Evergut, pushing things down towards the tail, the bow, it sort of presses everything together, and things become lodged, stuck into the walls, the nooks and crannies, and so that's compacting this area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there are definitely things you can climb onto. Everything's sort of got that faint coverage of grease, if you like, moisture. Yeah, it's very damp. You notice that there's a lot more moisture around here. However, the water looks it's putrid. Here is quite strong as well. You're aware of it up on the caravan way, but Leviticus, as you're down there, it's starting to get stronger, and you're more aware of it as well.
Okay. Covering my nose. Jupiter, how about you go up top, get a vantage point, and I'll go down by the mouth of... Is there like a mouth of a cave? That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah, if you imagine that there's part of a masonry structure has just collapsed, and it creates like a... When I say web, you can sort of see an entranceway where, like a cave. Yeah, I guess not a cave,
Perfect.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So I will collapsed arches. I will go beside one of the arches and wait and hide. And I think that maybe Basil, I can never remember your name. Basil, if you and Solus go in, and if there's something in there, you can draw them out, and then we can have the jump on them from 2 angles.
I think drawing them out is the best way about this, but I don't think going in should be necessary. I think if you're to hunt a bear and draw it out of its cave, we need to bring it to us. I think going in there could be certain death.
So what do you propose then, Solus?
Well, this beast's fat is explosive. No, that'd be cool though.
But it could burn.
If it is like sinew and stuff like that, can we physically cut through the landscape? Like I'm picturing, if we're on the road above, how are we talking about, like meters thick? Are we talking about like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a different approach.
It's just like you describe. It's sinewy. It's tissue. It's they're like polyps and lumps of fatty gristle and all that stuff. It looks like you would if you cut open a beast, a cow or whatever. It's that interior sort of thing, but even more disgusting and putrid. And but you can cut it. That's how, when they initially created the caravan way, they cut into that to put the hooks and the anchors for the actual caravan way structure. So yeah, it is possible. However, there's always a risk, and you know this, being a scavenger, seasoned scavengers, you know that there's always a chance of releasing noxious gas pockets and things like that.
And I do think that might be but to our advantage. I think we need to figure out a way to draw them out. I'm not keen on the idea of Basil and myself going into the cave, especially when you don't even know his name, Leviticus.
Basil, yes, I am sorry. You just look like someone I know named Andy, and I keep on wanting to call you Andy.
No, I think having yourself and having Jupiter as ready with when they're drawn out is perfect. Okay. But I think we need to think of a better way to bring them out.
Now,
I'm not
Basil,
keen on going in.
You did say
I
that
can set
maybe
it.
the fat would burn. Is there any way that you or Jupiter could craft something out of that? A trap?
Hmm.
Well, I suppose if something starts burning, it might start to draw their attention. We've got fat. Do we have rope? We can make a giant candle.
Okay.
I think we could. There's
Yeah.
rope right over there.
What about something
Yeah.
explosive? What about something that does cause the GM's gone?
You
So
said
that's
it was-
okay. I'm running this show now.
Jupiter?
We blow up the cave and everyone dies. We win.
Oh, it's gone.
Okay, but I think we could jury rig some sort of explosive using some of the noxious gases that he was describing about. Do we know if they're explosive?
Yeah. Well, so they might be explosive or not, but regardless, it's something
Well,
that
maybe if
would kill.
Yeah.
It's noxious.
Maybe if we had
right?
some sort
or
of
at least
container.
advantage.
A container of sorts. Yeah, that would work too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking kind of like
Thinking-
some sort of Molotov cocktail kind of arrangement.
Yeah. Well, I'm picturing like we could find like a bulbous, like almost something filled with gas on the wall and cut it out. Like just kind of knife around
maybe
it
if we-
and tear it out through the.
Get like one of
fucking-
those buboes or something like that, and
Yeah.
like
I don't know. I'm just.
cover it with cloth, set the cloth on fire and throw it.
Yeah, I think. Like a Molotov for sure. I just think we got to definitely get them out because I think going in is like walking into the den, and I just picture us walking in and them just having all the crossbows like.
And it's dark in there, and they've got their night vision or dark vision probably.
Yeah, maybe if we made some sort of even just the basic,
Which would make the explosion even better.
help, some bullshit like that. No, but.
I'm a damsel in distress. Help!
Was the blood there the hog or was it a man or a human? We never figure out that. Oh, Matt said he can't join.
You can't join the call.
Yeah, I just,
Okay.
Yay, WA Internet.
Is anybody else like picturing kind of like a really dark, gritty Osmosis Jones?
Yeah, a little bit. I am.
We're like in the body. We're like the invasive species though. We're the parasites, and we got to be careful. Like if we're cutting like gas pustules off the wall, they might send the white blood cells after us, and then we're.
That's what I'm hoping. I want that. They'll help us. I'm such a dick. Matt messaged me. He goes, "Hey, I can't join the call." I go, "Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Who's this? I don't know what this is."
Yeah.
Sure.
Mutinied. This is our ship now.
We've taken over. Yeah.
Thrown the captain overboard.
All right. I'm thinking if this is meat, which is what he described it as, I don't see why we can't be up on the road above, cutting down into it. I mean, okay, it might be thick, but it's still meat. I'm saying we can cut through the.
Could we
ceiling.
cut?
That would be cool.
Could we cut through the ceiling, like cut a hole in the ceiling, and then drop one of these gross Molotov cocktails down onto
Yeah.
them?
in there?
That's
the only
exactly
thing.
what I'm
Yes.
The only thing with that is that someone would have to scout ahead, and find out where they are exactly, and then so that we don't like cut down, drop it in a hole, and the room's empty. We're like, oh no, they're like 20 feet over. But yeah, I think that would be really cool if the ceiling is not rock either.
Yeah, it was just like some big flesh sack thing.
Yeah.
Do we need to go not live anymore so we can get Matt back?
No, we can get him back. I just don't know why it's not working. He says he's not allowed. For some reason, it hates him.
Exactly
you
right.
sent
It says
him
he's
live
been
again?
banned.
He's been banned. What? I have never in my life heard that one. That's a neat one. Google, why do you hate people?
Banned from Google Hangouts. How does that?
They must have known he was Australian. That's why. Said Australian.
Don't say that out loud.
Well, these guys, I'm sure, will be banned shortly too. It's just the way of. I'm surprised we aren't. They only like Americans.
They probably realised, oh, well, hang on, that's a penal colony. We'll block all those guys. They just.
They're just trying to do more criminal stuff. All right, let me open this up.
Yeah. I'm a Nigerian prince, and I need your help, my friend.
I only need $4 million.
Please tell me your story. I'm interested.
That's
Go
right.
on.
Let me see.
You know, my favorite one of those is still, hi, we've got a great opportunity for you to buy land on the moon. Soon mankind will be settling on the moon, and
That
land
was-
prices can only go up.
You know what? I backed that one. I got
Yeah,
a
it was
spot
on
right next to
Kickstarter.
the
Nice.
Sea of Tranquility.
That was.
Yeah, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I
That
thought
should
they
be some
just
good real
banned.
estate in about 400 years.
All right.
Oh,
He's
All
back.
right, I'm back. So, what happened? Anyone die?
We actually killed them all, and we got all their XP, and we actually killed the beast, and the beast had like a billion XP, so we've leveled up beyond all. We're now the beast. No, we've decided.
Yeah.
We want to know if we can basically cut out a explosive or noxious pustule in the wall and cut a hole in the ceiling above and drop it down into it, either to use as a Molotov cocktail so it explodes, or because I'm also thinking if we just have to get a gas, cut out kind of a bulbous of gas and maybe burst that shit and throw that down so that they all come out coughing. One of those two, preferably the Molotov, if not the noxious gas.
You know that, and this again, this is Scavenger 101. That's
I want to read that
you
book.
know that there are flammable properties to certain parts of the beast. It's been, in some places it's used as a fuel. In others, it produces a gas which is lethal. So in order to find something like that, you've got to know what you're looking for. So I would say that using the right combination of skill, you could locate such a thing. And given Axton, given your status as a hunter, maybe you're more equipped to locate something like that. But I'll leave that up for you guys to decide. But yeah, you certainly could. Your thinking's right. I think you could either pull something out of the beast, so to speak, that is either flammable or not, or potentially lethal in terms of gas. Yeah, so I'll allow it. Go for it. But the role and the difficulty come in locating the right thing.
What's that?
Axton, you've got the engineer skill, haven't you?
Yes, yeah. So that's not really much in the way of locating it, but yeah, I can use my hunting to locate it.
I've got the forager.
My engineering.
I've got the forager. I can possibly locate it.
Yeah. So if you locate it, I can.
Okay.
I can put it together into a.
All right. Well, I'll throw in what do you reckon? 3 dice for a forager. Does that sound?
Sure.
Let's give that a go.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a big benefit to us. So.
Actually, I'll throw 4 in then, because I agree. I think it's going to be really beneficial.
Not to mention, it just look fucking cool.
I'm mostly just justifying it by saying it's beneficial. Really, I think it's just going to be cool.
Hey, that's why we're here.
Okay, so
all right. So
was that 2 successes I saw, or 3?
All
right,
no, it's 5 plus.
Well, what was your ability? Sorry, what was your rank?
Well, so this is forager.
Oh no, sorry, your specialty. So you got a 1 for base. You've used 2 instinct, plus you've got 1 advantage dice for the forager.
Oh, actually, that's right. I
Okay,
can roll cunning or law. So they're both capable. So 4 plus. So that's 3 successes.
3 successes. You
through.
Imagine walking around with a little hammer. Tap tap tap. Tap tap tap. Either the pus-filled polyp or the gas-filled one, and you're able to find what you're looking for, and it's the gas, so the gaseous, noxious gas one. You don't know what the lethality of it will be, but you found like a pouch. Okay, so you found a pouch of gas, if you like. All right. Now, to cut through it is going to be another task, because if you rupture it, you could end up expelling all of that potentially lethal gas into your own face.
Oh,
All right?
that
So there
would
is
be
a
not
danger.
ideal.
So this is going to be a long task. Up till now, we've done sort of short tasks. But a long task has like a time element to it, where every success you make comes off the difficulty. However, if you don't succeed, then here, this could be catastrophic failure.
This is a skill
Alright.
challenge.
To me, that says
Yeah.
worth
So I'm going to
it.
modify it slightly. All right. To cut through, any sort of blade will do. You know, as I've said, they've cut into this to build the caravan way. People harvest the beast flesh, and some people consume it. Others use various parts of it for fuel, and so people do exactly what you're trying to do. However, when it comes to the gassy ones, there's a lot of there's more of an added risk. Okay, so I've got the difficulty, and you just need to create your pool. Whoever's going to do the cutting, Axton, you're going to do the cutting. Was that right?
Yep, and engineering and fashioning and whatnot. Yes. So
Yeah.
cutting. I guess I get one advantage for
Yep.
the
Your
engineer.
base.
Yep.
Yep.
Do this against. What skill would that apply to? Do you think?
Well, I would say
Well, so engineering
might,
says
because you are. Go on, Andy.
Yep.
they say engineering is described as permission to attempt impossible engineering or automatically succeed when creating simple tools, machines, and construction. So I suppose it depends on whether this is a simple thing or an impossible thing. Sounds like it's not a simple thing.
It sounds pretty simple. Because people do it a lot. I'm just going to go 3 and do it against, like...
Okay, so the way... Yep. Might would probably... Well, you're cutting through the flesh of the beast, so using might would enable you to do that. However, a note on the difficulty, because I've said this is a long task, it doesn't mean you have to complete it in the one set of rolls. You can complete it over successive rolls, okay?
Okay.
All right, which gives away the fact that the difficulty level is probably higher than what you've previously come across.
Can we combine? Like, can I aid him to maybe make it more successful in a way?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. Then
you can pool your resources.
Because one of my specialties is that I'm bile-born, which is like, you know, kind of really brought up in the real gross and underbelly of this. So I kind of feel like maybe, especially because this was something that kind of came second nature to me, and Basil's an idea. I was kind of like, I kind of feel like maybe my character has done something like this before, so maybe that can be a help, you know, to him in some way.
Yep, I agree.
So what can I do then? Can I add dice? If so, do I need to spend stuff for it? What's the...
Well, there's 2 ways to go about it. Either you can attempt the task at the same time, so you're both doing the task, maybe coming at it from 2 sides, or you're using your knowledge and expertise to assist Axton, in which case, yes, you wouldn't get the base dice because you're not doing the task. Axton's doing the task. But any advantages and skills that are relevant, you're imparting that knowledge to him. So it adds to his dice pool.
Then let's do the latter. Let's do the latter, and I'll add my dice to his pool, and that way he can get the best. And realistically, you know, I would see him doing this and be like, I've done that before a long time ago. Make sure then when you do it, you sever the. I kind of just like give him a little bit of that kind of bullshit, and that hopefully will give him an advantage because I have the Vileborn skill.
So I was thinking something more along the
many...
lines of I would fashion the device that would, make it explode inside their base, and somebody else would acquire the actual part, I suppose.
Oh, okay. Well, in which case then I can do that too.
These pouches can be quite fragile. So the pouch itself doesn't necessarily need anything to set it off. If you throw it and it explodes and it basically breaks on impact like a balloon, then that will release the gas. And they also come in different sizes. So you could find larger ones, you could find smaller ones.
Tense.
Yeah. So well then, if you want to use your engineering just to kind of create it afterwards, I can roll to try to take it out. I'm down to go with whatever is the best way to go about it.
I think it would be better with somebody with more expertise to.
Okay, then I'll use my Vileborn and I'll pull out my dagger and I'll walk over to what we've been looking at and I'll just start cutting it out. Because I do think we want to make sure that they don't leave the cave too. We want to get them while they're still there. So with a bit of urgency, I start cutting it out. Now I have Vileborn and maybe coordination to cut it out?
Yep. So Vileborn would likely give you some resistances to any gas that leaks out because it's probably in your lungs anyway, whatever the base components of whatever the gas is. So yeah, that makes sense as you being the right person to attempt it.
Perfect.
If it goes up in your face, maybe the effects won't be as severe as what potentially is what it would be for somebody else.
Perfect. So I'm going to spend 3. I guess it's not ID though because I'm not rolling in instincts, right?
You can use. I don't know if did I make that clear? You can use instinct dice at any stage.
Okay.
You don't have to be
you
using your instincts to roll an instinct.
Okay.
It's
just when you
no, sorry. It's an advantage. Correct. It's whenever you create a pool, you can choose to add instinct. That's right. Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, let's do this. I'm going to add the 3 dice as long with the base die, right? And that's how it works. With the specialties, it gives me an advantage dice as well. So does that mean I would be rolling 5 then? If I want to add 3 instinct dice, so I want to add 3 instinct dice, I get 1 for the base and 1 for the advantage?
Yep.
Perfect. So here we go. 5, and it's acceptable, so we want to get 5 or above, and we got 1, 2. Let's hope that's enough. He asked the darkness. Oh, he's gone. He's frozen in the back.
Sorry, guys.
You're toying with my heart, man.
Yeah, no. Look, what you were saying is absolutely correct.
Okay.
What did you say?
So I rolled 5. I rolled 5.
Yay!
Yeah.
I had the base, I had the advantage, and I spent 3 IDs. So I got 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, those successes come off the difficulty, so you don't know what the difficulty is, but I've deducted it. However, the failure in this case means that there is an effect, a consequence to your action. The consequence in this case is a puncture to the pod that you're trying to extract, which means you get a little bit of the gas in your face. And this is why you were the right person to do this, because being Vileborn, you'll have some natural resistances. So you've just been squirted in the eye. Yeah.
It's not the first time, baby.
Now, this can create an injury. Because you're Vileborn, you're the right person. It's not going to be overly. It makes you cough, makes you wheeze a bit. But now, whatever the polyp that you're trying to, the pouch you're trying to extract, is now leaking a bit of this gas, albeit slowly. It's still leaking a bit. So if you don't either patch it up or
I'm going to use it
which
like
is not hard to do.
Bomb.
You
I'm
give a bit of
running
grease.
Let's do this! Let's get this in the fucking hole! Because assuming, I mean, we were
A bit of
coordinating. We would have been coordinating this, so I'm sure that the hole's already been at least cut by either Leviticus or Basil. That hole's got to be done by now. So I'm running it over to the engineer to patch it up, get it going, so that it can be functioned as the way we want to do it.
Well, it's happened. So while one roll's happened, so with a long task, you can take successive rolls. So you've got 2 successes off the overall difficulty. You've got your consequence, which is the little puncture. You've now got to complete the task, so you need another roll to complete the task.
Righto. So that would be on the engineer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Cool.
If he's going to, his side. Yep.
So this is quite like a volatile sack already. I'm gonna say that it's not gonna need much. So we'll probably just end
rubbing a little bit of belly grease on it. Rubbing a little bit of belly grease on it will plug that hole. You know that because it acts as a sealant then. So, all right.
Cool. So I'll do that, and this hole has been. And do we actually know that there's anybody down there? That's the thing that's sort of been bugging me. So we haven't actually determined whether or not there were anybody down there. It's kind of like, oh, we just dropped this thing and we're like, that was cool. Now what?
You did not.
Yeah. So is this hole in the flesh been cut open? Because that would have fallen on them, and so they would be alert by now if that's been
well, you could kind of like grab hold of the flesh as you're cutting it, so it didn't fall in.
Yeah.
But could I use my awareness to like look down the hole and check they're there?
Well,
Would
I'd
that
say
be a
the
thing?
person closest to that is Leviticus.
Okay.
Because he's the one that's closest. You know, you guys are offset. You're in like the wall, probably by where the off ramp is off the caravan way. So that's where you've been carving out your pouch. Leviticus has been down, sort of somewhat hidden.
You know what I'll
and
say?
Observing what's going on. So we'll cut to you, Leviticus. We'll cut to you and see what you're up to.
So I think while they were going to get the gas ball, I would have
the fat of the creature, just kind of.
Just nuts could. I think I would probably.
It has properties.
I'm sure it does. Yeah, I read the nutritional properties. Refined sugar, damn it.
Friendly, frothing at the mouth. Sociopathic behavior.
Exactly. Yeah. So no, I think I would. I think at this point, I said that I was going to scout ahead. I mean, no time like the present while they're dealing with this gas ball. I think I would have gone in and found out where they were so that we could have an accurate place to throw it.
Good thinking.
Yep.
All right. So sneaking ahead into the darkness by myself. I'm going to spend lots of. I'm going to spend lots of ID on this one, just so you guys know.
Lost him again.
We lost him again, but
we know what we're doing.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to spend 4 ID to make this happen, to go in and make sure that I'm not noticed, so that I don't come out and you guys are like, we got it, and I'm being chased by a horde of guys. Use it now, use it now.
Use it.
So for stealth, I'm not going to spend. I'm going to try to roll 5 die. So that would be 3 ID I would be rolling.
Yeah. If you're trying to roll, do you have any? But you have advantage, right?
Well, because I'm stealthy, so it'll be 3+. I'm a sneaker as well, so that gives me
talent,
2 rolls. Yeah, my talent is sneaker, so I get 2 free rolls.
2 free rolls, and then you're gonna roll 3.
Exactly.
For a total of 5, right?
Exactly.
Cool.
So that's -3 + 1. Okay, so let's see how I do. All right.
Oh wow!
All right, so that is.
Wow. That's 5 successes.
It's the skin, man.
Wow. It's because you're black.
Exactly.
That's your excuse for everything.
Is it really an excuse?
That's your reason for everything. Why? Oh, I'm black.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
That's a damn good roll.
that is-
Matt's gonna say, it's gonna be a success. So
Yeah.
we just gotta hope now that there's actually someone in there.
I just hope that he doesn't
On
think
the
that I
chat.
rolled like 20 times until I got that.
Oh no, that's so much.
Well, no, it's on the stream. There's proof.
We'll keep you honest. We'll keep you honest.
There we go. And let's try again. No. Oh, but I have to clear both of them. That'd be tough to roll each of them each time to try to get.
He says, you catch the outline or silhouette of people hiding amongst rubble.
No way, he's
Ah,
playing by post.
That's awesome.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. So when I see
So
that,
good DM adapts.
yeah, I know exactly where they are, and I take reference of how far I would have come in, and see if there's any landmarks, like if there's like a bulge in the ceiling, or if there's like a clear patch of thin skin that we might be able to cut through or see through.
Mm-hmm.
And I just gather my surroundings, and I don't know if he'd want us to do another roll. I guess he's watching right now, eh?
That's not a bad idea, actually.
If he watches on
It'll be like a
the,
proxy.
if he watches, yeah, you'll be the proxy. If he watches the Invictus stream YouTube video, then he can he'll know what we're doing.
This is how life was before.
Matt says we win.
That's the only.
Oh, Matt says we win. Hey guys, we win. That's it. That
This is the state of Australian internet right now.
Oh, jeez. You guys got to move to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Great up here.
Yeah.
Not much.
Oh, at least we're still beating like southern Siberia, but that's about it.
No, actually, I hear Northern Siberia has fantastic internet.
It's true, and their grass is always green.
It is. It is.
Yeah, they're the number one
yeah,
tourist spot. Yeah, and they just have beauty. And they use Marmite, not Vegemite, so that's a big plus.
Hmm. I don't know.
Well,
What
who
Wow,
uses
some English
Marmite?
got in there.
I don't know.
Pretty sure English uses Marmite. It's a Vegemite over here.
Yeah,
Marmite.
I said something about Marmite. I can't remember the difference. The only reason I know Marmite is because of Mr. Bean, and the only reason I know Vegemite is because I don't remember why. My sister, I think she went to Australia for a few years. So
Yep.
you and your yeast, you and your yeast.
They're two very different yeast products. Which
I was
doesn't
googling,
sound
and they
good,
say
does it?
one's just a bit more. I've never tried them. I have no idea. Hey, you know what? There are some weird things. I want to try it. I really do, but it seems weird to me. It seems like a weird one.
Marmite is a
Vegemite.
weird one.
Vegemite seems weird too. Anything based on yeast seems weird. It seems such an odd. As Justin eats his what? Sweet potato, flourless, vagrant chips.
Okay.
Oh, popcorn. Ooh, sea salt.
Vagrant chips.
The vagrant chips. They have personality.
They're chips that don't really have a home.
Yeah, personified food. That's what we do.
And
in Canada.
what's actually happening right now is I eat them, and they do a quest. They go on a quest in my stomach
Yeah.
to find jars.
To the belly of the beast.
In the belly of the beast.
This campaign is taking place entirely in my
In
body.
Justin's stomach.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Justin is the beast.
that's right.
Justin's
That's
I
right.
think we
Matt.
do kind of need Matt because there's probably about a 5-6 second delay on the YouTube stream. He's
Yeah.
completely wrong. Okay.
Well, I keep sending the link, so last time he came back, so we can see if.
Can you make
If
another Gmail account? Like,
I think it's the internet that's lagging him. I think it's the
Yeah.
internet that's dropping him.
oh,
Because he was also getting significant lag. Like, it was a good
Yeah,
2 seconds.
it'll be Google blocking him because of his ping.
Damn Google
Yeah.
ping.
That seems
So,
rather
in the meantime,
elitist.
who can name all the pictures behind me? Anybody?
Oh.
I'm
You
sure I
got the
saw a
joke.
Nuka-Cola one in there.
Yeah, you're right. Right here, Nuka-Cola.
Yeah, Nuka-Cola.
Yep.
Okay, we got 1 point, Andy. Anybody else? Have at it.
This is something from Star Trek there. That looks like
Yeah.
John Cleese.
No, that's Data.
That's Data. That's 1 point.
No,
I'm gonna go. I think I have to give that to Andy because he named the character. That's 2 points, Andy.
Yeah, on the left, that looks like John Cleese, maybe.
It's
Like to the left of.
this one. You mean?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Funnily enough, though, I
we
do have-
definitely got Beetlejuice in there.
Who's that?
We definitely got Beetlejuice in there.
Yeah, Beetlejuice.
I'm not
3
gonna say
points,
it again.
Andy.
I thought you said
One more
I thought you
time.
said-
One more time.
I thought you said Bruce.
Nope.
I thought you said Bruce Jenner, and I was like, that's right.
I think I see Bruce Jenner in there. That's 3 points, Andy. What about this one? This is the only other real pop culture one. Horror movie.
So, here's Johnny. Fucking
Oh, you're thinking Shining.
Shining,
It's,
yeah.
No.
No, okay.
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. There you go. Army of Darkness.
Bruce
Ash. Bruce Campbell. There you go. Now, this is the master class. You ready? This one's for all the beans. Can anyone name what movie this is from? Like I'm 8.
Clockwork Orange.
It's a Wes Anderson movie. Have you guys seen Grand Budapest Hotel?
Oh, yeah.
If you
It's from that.
If you
Yeah.
Google two masturbating lesbians art,
That's the one that they replaced Boy with Apple. They
It's the one.
that up.
It's the one they replaced Boy with Apple with. Yeah. They take it down and then he puts this one up. And actually, the guy who drew this and the guy who drew this and the guy who drew this is the same guy. He did all the art prints. Rich Pellegrino, very talented guy. All right. Well, how long should we wait for Matt before we leave this on a cliffhanger and hope for a second episode when Australia gets internet? I'm just kidding.
I think you just have to get it in 7 years' time.
7
We're
years.
still on dial-up. Just wait until the late building gets back in, and then we'll be fine.
Yeah, well, to use the Australian measure of time, in 7 years, that'll be approximately 12 prime ministers.
Yeah.
It's like dog years over there.
Yeah.
We've actually had medical like ambulance drivers now stop asking the question of people, who's the current prime minister?
Oh,
Because it's been changing that frequently lately. It confuses people.
Jesus. Now they just have to ask them what year it is, or how slow their internet is. How slow is your internet? I'm at 1 megabyte per second. Okay, he's Australian. he knows what year it is.
Yeah, I don't think Matt's going to be able to.
I've got 2 paper cups and a piece of string.
He doesn't think he's coming back?
No, he's apparently he just made a new account, and it's rejected it. So
you know what? Then let's call it. Because I don't think we're going to get much better than that, it's a shame because I was excited to see what would happen. But in my mind, we succeeded. Although I think Matt's saying he'd like to cliffhang it. So let's do this, okay? Let's leave it there. Our heroes have cornered the owners of the stealing. The guys who stole the I want to say chariots, but it was
the jars.
The jars. And we've picked out a pretty great plan, I think. So. We're going to try our best to get back together and finish this thing, but I do want to do a quick shout-out and a major thank you to Matt for doing this. I think this is a awesome game. Again, I want to say thank you to the Belly of the Beast, Sigilstone Publishing, the guys who it's currently on Kickstarter. It has 7 days left. Go ahead and check it out. All of the rules and all of the character sheets and all of the things that we've used today are part of the free booklet that he's put together at the bottom of his page. So if you want to give this a try, go ahead and check it out. Speak to Ben. He's a great guy. You can message him if you have any questions and things like that. It has succeeded. The Kickstarter has succeeded. So we're not trying to push anything that we don't believe in. We just thought this was a really great concept. And you know what? In a market that right now is starting to become flooded with RPGs, unique, high-concept things like this that then maybe they have a bit more limitations because, yeah, I mean, you're in a beast, but that have unlimited ideas within them, you know, where you can really do anything with them. There's so few, they're so hard to come by. So go check that out. It's on Kickstarter right now. The link is in the description of the video. Thank you again to Matt. Thank you to Andy and Axton for joining us. Yeah. On the end of our International Tabletop Day. It was great meeting you guys and hanging out with you guys. And thank you to you, the viewers who are watching along and commenting and giving suggestions and things like that in the chat. It is always such a great. We have had a jam-packed International Tabletop Day, and we're excited to do it next year as well. And hopefully we'll have you guys back if you want to come back.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Good. All right. Well, everyone out there in YouTube land, you have yourself a fantastic evening or morning, depending on where you are. Thanks again to 7LandHand, Sigil Stone Publishing, and my boys below me here for getting together and doing this. I want you guys all to have a safe morning or night. Take it easy, and as Chris always likes to say, but Justin will say it now.
We'll see you around the table.
We'll see you around the table, guys. Good evening. Good night.